there's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Just shut the up. So Disney is another company that's been in hot water. They've been in a downward spiral.
Wow.
That was my only mispronunciation, right?
Spiral. Yeah.
Downward spiral since they decided that, and it's not, here's the thing, it's not that they disagree with you. It's that they've decided, when people say woke, what they really mean is they're describing a worldview that hates you, that hates everything America stands for. Just to be clear, it's not that these people disagree with you slightly. They want you silenced and removed from any platform and being able to speak at all. They want your children removed from you if you don't agree with their evil progressive ideology. So we throw around woke or cancel culture. Let's be really clear. Woke, right, we're talking about ultra-far leftists, people who believe that men and women are a figment of your imagination, that your money is not your own, that your family is not your own, and that your country is not your own. That's what woke means. And when we say cancel culture, people throw it out. What that means is lose your livelihood culture. Let's be really clear about the severity of it. Cancel culture, what does that mean? Well, you won't be able to work and you'll be eliminated from platforms. Oh, so basically the same reason that wars were fought. When someone would come over and burn my farm, yeah, those were fighting actions. That's what cancel culture is. Wokeness describes people who hate you. And that personifies Disney to the letter. Now, their stock price, good news, it's down 56%.
What?
Time to buy.
$198 billion.
Dang!
So much.
Yeah, what they've lost in market cap.
Wow.
Yeah. And that means
incredible.
7,000 jobs have been cut as far as layoffs. That's 3.2% of their workforce. Apparently, they lost about, this is from Screen Rant, all the references are available, $900 million this summer alone.
Whoops. That's a few misses.
Yeah.
So it's a couple of
$900 million is not a mundane detail, Michael.
I thought people would like it.
But my Disney Plus subscription keeps going through.
Does it keep going through?
does.
It keeps going through.
The stream.
I wouldn't do that
Yeah.
for you.
They have to pair it with...
I stole it. I got somebody else's account.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's moral theft.
I'm an American.
You're like Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Name that movie line, whoever's watching right now. You're going to have to, that one's a little more obscure. So here's the thing. People would often say, well, it's a profit motive. If you don't like it, don't shop there. No, that's not really true. Especially when you're also talking about industries that are bailed out, by the way, or enjoy all kinds of subsidization or tax benefits from the government. And they get to pick winners and losers. We'll do more on that, probably another segment. But of course, we've done that on airlines, on health insurance companies, right? On energy companies. The same thing happens with a lot of these companies in the entertainment industry, the people who hate you. It's not just a profit motive, because if it was just a profit motive, and that wouldn't make it okay to propagate evil, it is an ideological one, because Disney is still doubling down.
Yeah.
They're planning to save their brand by more wokeness. Again, woke means they hate you. They're going to do a Snow White remake with dwarves that aren't dwarves. A completely spineless, feckless prince buys his swimsuits at Target.
It's helpful to be able to tuck.
And Snow White is Snow Brown. Now, I don't have a problem with the fact that she's brown. I'm just saying everything about this has to be changed when it doesn't really need to be changed. All right, okay, fine, Black Mermaid. I mean, who cares? I mean, it's maybe not the most believable mermaid, but...
I also like how Disney doesn't have any, new ideas. Like,
right.
What have we done before that's worked? Let's do that again.
Yeah.
That could have been a whole new movie.
Right.
It could have been
Different
a whole
storyline,
new
different
world.
people. Yeah.
Just
I like that.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
Yeah. No, that's because they travel in packs and they attack from behind all
That's
the woke,
right. You
all the
can't
woke
close your
homosexuals.
eyes. Yeah, that's
Just made me think of Jasmine. Oh. The prettiest cartoon.
Well, also Ariel was quite cute.
Yes.
Jasmine was.
You were so dismissive. I didn't dismiss your crush.
Gingers.
With
Nah.
Gingers.
Bestiality. Ew.
Smelled like fish.
that wasn't her fault. The sins of her. He's doing commercials for Monostat 7 now. I want to be where the yeasties are. Monostat 7. This broad likes it. So when I say you started it,
Yeah, it's fair.
you started it.
I deserve it.
Just
Slow
eat a
news
banana.
day. Go screw yourself. But this does matter. Look, I've said that I think this matters more than taxes. Why? Because it's something that you can directly affect immediately. You've got to wait until someone gets into office, assuming that we have continued most fair and secure elections of all time.
All time.
And hope that they do what it is that you ask them to do as it relates to taxes or as it relates to foreign policy. You can vote with your dollar every single day. Now, when I say that these people, meaning these woke companies, these leftist companies, I've always used the term leftist. I know some people use it now. I don't say liberal. Woke is something that'll come and go because it'll be reappropriated just like fake news was then hijacked by the right. So leftists. People like this Rachel Ziegler, she's the lead in this film. When I just said they hate everything about you and they hate all the things that you love, just please take note of the tone. It seems like she's hell-bent on this film just tanking, and she dislikes everything that we all maybe enjoyed about Snow White. Check the tone.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. Serious. I watched it once, and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again.
Because you're weak.
I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Oh, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
Just that's something that entitled broads, and by the way, to be clear, this is just another white suburban entitled person who has brown skin, just to be clear. That, it's really weird. They do that so they seem like they're sarcastic or they're bitter and they know something that you don't. It is what someone does when they don't really know what they're talking about and they are arrogant and they think that they know better than you. Hold on a second, wait. You are being paid millions of dollars to wear a dress. I'm sorry that you couldn't walk around the set in Spanx. Look, millions of dollars to be a dwarfless Snow White who no one asked for. Weird, yeah. You know what's weird? That these people just shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. Put on your earmuffs. I'm sorry. Just shut up.
He's angry.
Just please shut up. Take your millions of dollars and bitch about the film in question. I can't imagine. I don't know why Disney doesn't slap a lawsuit on this person.
I know.
I'm going to go out and crap on the product. It's like imagine Halle Berry going out and doing the Pepsi commercials and like, yeah, but it kind of sucks.
Exactly. How much do you have to think of yourself to think, something that is really become Americana, a story that almost every single person knows about Snow White and the Seven Dwarves that has been around for almost 100 years.
Weird.
Sucked.
That's weird.
And we need to do it better this time by remaking it with me.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's something a white man would say.
It's like the whole story stalking her. No, that's not stalking. It's a love story, you moron.
You know that obnoxious lilt?
Yeah. She complained about the Snow White ride at Disney World, a park that is built based on the fact that movie was so successful and built that company.
Exactly.
I know. I'm a bitch. I looked at the monitor to make sure it wasn't me this time. Did he do it? Okay.
It's one of those. It's that little. And let me know if you've run into it. If you've run into it with arrogant young women. And I will say this, it is a problem, by the way. Okay, so we have this new segment coming out, Black and White and the Gray Issues, where we just go to an area of town that is largely black, and I think that we have more common ground than people realize because the media wants us all to be divided. You would be surprised, if you are a Christian conservative, how much more you have in common with the average black American than someone like this, than someone like Ziegler. And the one you were there, Toolman.
Yep.
I don't know, we had 5-6 conversations. They were all productive. We didn't agree on everything, but they were all productive.
Yeah,
most of us even ended up like hugging, hey man, love you brother, great. Let's hopefully we'll follow up. The one where couldn't get a word in edgewise, and by the way, this was not a debate. The one where they were was a young woman. a young woman.
While we were leaving.
Yes.
They're like, oh, you got cameras?
Yes.
Can I be on camera?
Sure. She's like, I never saw it. And then they were saying, don't air this. Which maybe we will, maybe we won't, because they were so aggressive. I mean, they went through Thomas Jefferson, raped all of his slaves. And if I said, wait, hold on a second. It was white privilege, white fragility. They talked about all of these issues that only racism could only come from a position of power. Apparently, the Beanie Baby Corporation is racist because they won't make the Princess and the Frog Beanie Babies. I don't even know. I wasn't familiar with it. I mean, I went long on Beanie Babies. I lost my shirt, so I have my own issues with them. But racism is not chief amongst them. And at the end of it, the mom goes, "That's the future right there. That's the future right there. Isn't it? Doesn't it look good?" And I said, you know what? I think there's potential there. She goes, there's a lot more than potential. You know what? I will never tell my children, and you should never tell your children, that they're perfect. That they're perfect. If you have a son, he shouldn't feel like crap because he was born a male. And if you have a daughter, she shouldn't think that she's blameless because she was born a woman. You need to tell your kids that they are all fearfully and wonderfully created in the image of God. The rest of the respect in their life is earned through their actions, boy or girl. But we don't say that. You know what no young man has ever heard, unless he's gay, is you're perfect. You have no room for improvement. Joe! This girl has been told. Do you think anyone on that set, where she goes, I should be paid extra to have to wear this custom designed dress? Do you think anyone's going, man, you're kind of an ungrateful brat?
No. The guy carrying the heavy camera, or the guy with the boom mic all day long who's getting paid scale or whatever.
And the guy having to listen to you mope around.
Oh, I know. He's like, tell me more.
But look at the bubble that they live in. The Gal Gadot pops in and they're like, ha, we're not doing that again. And everybody's like, yeah. And the cameraman's like, yeah, tell us more. And we're all like, what?
Yeah.
You're an idiot. That's the entire story. Why would you come out and say the story sucks, but go watch the movie?
Yeah. And by the way, in case you Snow White, sometimes I get that and Cinderella confused. It's a prince, right?
There's a prince.
Yeah, the prince is the one, Snow White. Or which one's Sleeping Beauty? Is it a prince and Snow White? I want to make sure that I'm clear. If the guy is a prince,
they're usually princes.
Yes. Okay. So here's the thing: he's not stalking her, and this is why they try and change this. This is the problem with feminism. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, and he's a prince, if someone out there can confirm, because they kind of bleed together. I know there's a witch and an apple and a mirror, and I don't know which one's in which. But
oh yeah, Snow White, she ate the apple and basically died.
Yeah. So Snow White is the prince, right?
Yeah, Snow White has the
prince. Leave her there.
Yeah.
And doesn't
I know
kiss
Sleeping
her?
Beauty, the prince. Okay, here's the point.
Kissed her, wake her.
He's not stalking you.
That's Sleeping Beauty.
No, that's
it's
the
Snow White.
finger prick.
Fudge.
Sleeping Beauty.
Well, again, let it never be said that they've been original ever. Now, ever since that anti-Semitic mouse was whistling on a steamboat. But my point is, he's a prince. He doesn't need to stalk you. He's a prince, okay? That's how you know it means that he wants to be with you. He's a prince. You think he needs to go wake up some bitch from a slumber that was induced by a witch? He has easier paths to victory. That's his love for you. He's willing to overcome it. That was seen as something, by the way, that was chivalrous back in the day. Not the false white knighting of retweeting a feminist in the hopes that you get laid, being a power bottom. It's a prince. You want a prince? And now they're even saying, I can't believe he was stalking her. This is the perverse, and this is why a huge portion of young men don't want to get married, and there are women then when they reach their 30s, wrong side of 40, saying there aren't men worth marrying. He was stalking her.
Pursuing her.
He pursued her and saved her life.
Yes.
It's not 1937 anymore. Well, that movie wasn't about 1937 either.
No, it wasn't.
It was about a time when any woman would just be really happy to not die at the age of 24 and be with a man that has a little bit of money in a house.
Yes, and who loved her.
Yeah.
And who loved her.
And rescued her from the 7 weirdos.
Look at Cinderella. You can look at Cinderella and go, oh yeah, Cinderella's about, well, the prince, why does she need to chase him? No, hold on, think about this. This man had options. Cinderella is a good example. He had options, and instead, he wanted the woman who wasn't wealthy. He wanted the woman whose heart he viewed as most pure. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And you can go and screw yourself if you want to erode at that fabric that has been the basis of society. That is a good lesson to learn. Sure, there are traditional roles in Cinderella. Maybe had a foot fetish. We don't know. The shoe thing, it's a little bit weird.
It is a little weird.
But he said, no, hold on a second. All these women who they're telling me that I should be with, they're wealthy, they're shallow. These are all shallow gold digging whores here. I want to find the woman who doesn't care about my title. The woman who I think might love me for me. And I love her for her. It's an allegory. It's not. And I can't believe that Snow White. What, she's supposed to chase him, and what is he supposed to put on the shoes? And then shut up.
No, Disney,
Sorry,
please keep doing this and losing money.
I don't know what were you left? Was there something in there?
The way you said it just sounded like that song.
Oh, she likes me for me.
Yeah, the
Not
Leonardo.
Because I'm tough like Dirty Harry.
Yeah, that guy.
I hate
Not
you for bringing that
1937.
up.
Well, in some ways, maybe it should be.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not going to be, I can't remember the rest of her quote, but it's something like, I'm not going to go that route that they did in 1937 where I need somebody to save me.
Right.
I'm focused on being the leader I know I can be. I'm like, of what? Seven little people?
Oh, that's right. Oh, right. That's right. Oh, you're the writer. Rachel Ziegler. I'm not going to do it. Oh, you're the writer and producer. Collect your checks, say your lines, and shut up. Okay? When people say shut up and act, it's like you shouldn't be. Yes. In this instance, yes. Especially when you're young. Every 17-year-old, 16-year-old, 18-year-old thinks they know everything. We used to tell them, you don't know a whole lot. Now we say, oh, yeah, you know everything because you're a brave. Insert whatever oppressed class here. Shut up. And you know what's even worse than what this person is saying now when they're young? Is that they live in a bubble where they won't even be embarrassed by it once they're older, and they should be smarter. It's like they freeze in time as permanent retards.
Well, most retards are.
Stop it.
I'm sorry.
Stop it.
It's true. They're not frozen in
it's
time.
sad.
Get rid of it. Yeah.
Some of them age at an accelerated rate, depending on the condition.
We're sorry.
And as for the dwarves,
I wasn't making a joke. I was just.
no, it's true. He's true. He's telling the truth.
True facts.
Now, the dwarves not being dwarves, this is another. You can thank Peter Dinklage for that one, who decided to pull up the half ladder behind him.
Well, it's really progressive to cast literally no offense to anything, but I was a little taken back by they're very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White.
Yeah.
But you're still telling the story of Snow White.
Snow White, yeah.
And Seven Dwarfs.
Sure.
So, look, take a step back and look at what you're doing there.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
So
You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that backward story of seven dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing, man?
No, it should have been Snow White and the 7 full-grown rapists.
They didn't live in a cave either. They worked in a cave.
Yes.
That's true.
They lived in a house.
Right.
It was also a fictional cartoon.
Yeah, and by the way, you're the ones who want to be called dwarves, not midgets.
That's not our fault.
Yeah.
I always thought it was way more offensive.
Dwarfism.
Right? Yes, so dwarfism. We're dwarf. Then it was like we're
Definitive
little
word.
people.
Would you prefer a role in Wolf of Wall Street where you get thrown through the air?
It's also messed
You
up
got
that
your choice, you angry little elf.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
No, you were saying it's messed up that he...
Yeah, it's messed up that he's saying all this stuff after making a whole career being cast because he's a little person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's not getting cast in Game of Thrones as just coincidentally being a dwarf.
Right.
They were like, we need a little guy for this show.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Or cast as an angry elf in the film Elf.
and now you want to
Yeah.
and you want to take that's so much work. I
I know.
forgot about that.
Right.
And now he wants to take work from other little people.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it hurt his
Well,
feelings.
he thinks that the story is somehow this backwards story. And I'm like, oh my god, it's fiction.
These people are so out of it. So
not backwards,
okay, so
it's just
Snow
small.
White
Cartoon.
So Snow White can't be white, and the dwarves can't be the dwarves can't be dwarves. Okay, this seems but it's about changing everything. It's about permeating everything and trying to. It's these little sort of tectonic shifts of the ground beneath you that they're trying to adjust all the time, and then you all of a sudden go, wait, hold on a second. They're selling swimsuits that hide my son's dick at Target. How'd you get there? When it's a concerted effort from people who hate everything you stand for. I'll tell you exactly. Snow White was white because this was largely, by the way, you know where they don't do a bunch of white folk tales? In countries that aren't all white. I don't know if you know this, like in China, they're not always concerned with diversity in their Chinese film. Or if you go somewhere, I don't know what kind of film industry they have in Uganda. I have no idea. But my point is, we're the only ones concerned with it. Not everything has to be changed, but that is seen through the lens. The reason things have to be changed, when you say, well, there's no perceptible reason for this change. Then why do they think it needs to? Why do they think that Snow White cannot be white? Why do they think that The Little Mermaid cannot be white? Why do they think that these children's characters have to be gay and share an on-screen gay kiss? Why do they think that cuties with children twerking should be thrust into your feed? Why do they think that dwarves should be full-grown non-binary men? Why do they? If you look at it and you say there's no reason to change that, ask yourself why they are. And you always come back to the same answer. And I am speaking in absolutes here as it relates to Hollywood. When you start with the question, why are they changing something that doesn't need to be changed? It's because they hate you. It's because they hate everything you are about. It's the same reason that Aussie broad was bitching about seeing the American flag. It's like garlic to a vampire. It's the last standing republic that's supposed to have free speech. And by the way, primarily, entirely founded on Judeo-Christian values that these people hate. You know what else is a portion of the Judeo-Christian prescription for relationships? Courtship. Courtship. And I know what you'll say. Oh, this is back when women were property. No. You're wrong. We'll do another segment on that. Shut up. That's not what the biblical view of relationships and marriage is. Nope, incorrect. Women were not. Christ was basically the first feminist. Shut up. That's something that they also want to remove. The idea of courtship, the idea of a man courting and pursuing a woman. Women out there, is that the kind of world you want to live in? Because you're going to have an entire generation of women who have duped other women into thinking that they don't want a man to pursue them. And that generation of men will be terrified to pursue them, lest they be falsely accused of rape or being a stalker.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.